The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
And this portion of our Coaches Show brought to you by Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best smoked barbecue, ribs, and many local favorites on Warrior Drive. Locally owned, operated by Anne-Marie Brentz and the Lanning family. And joining me here on the Coach's Corner is Matt Williams, the head coach of the Smyrna Bulldogs. Matt, how are you?
Good, John. How are you?
I'm doing great. I haven't seen you in forever, but I'm gonna make a point of next week. I'm coming down to the field and I'm going to say, "Where is Matt Williams? I want to see him," because I haven't seen you in forever.
That'd be great. I'm actually in the office now. It's just better for me in the morning. Saturday mornings we're getting ready for games to come in. Our defensive staff's meeting right now. So,
I don't blame you a bit. Just
I was the downside of not getting to see you and Brian. So,
hey, talk about this field house, man. Danny Brewer's been up here and he is just raving about that place. And boy, it took a lot of hard work from a lot of people, but I know you're proud.
Very humbled and very blessed by it. I mean, SRM Concrete, just what they've done for our program is, you can't even put it in the words. And Dal Smith and his construction crew, and Dal's been a huge supporter. And Dal and I've been talking about, basically these plans since 2012, 2013, and it finally came to fruition. So. Just blessed to have it. We get to move in our locker room, we hope, middle of next week, and then the phase 3 will actually start, and we'll be done with the whole thing hopefully around Thanksgiving with our laundry and our storage part of it. But it's been really cool. Yesterday we had Jamboree with a lot of our youth teams. 4 of our youth teams played against Lebanon's youth teams, and we sort of had the youth program guys were walking through the facilities, and it's neat to see their little faces sort of ooh and ah. But
yeah.
We're very proud of it and very humbled and blessed to have it.
When you see those young kids come in there, it doesn't do anything but help Smyrna. I mean, it makes them proud. It makes those kids that are going to head your way in a few years. You can really see the pride in their faces, and it makes them want to come and stay at Smyrna.
Well, yeah, you hope so. And, it's Smyrna High School is a great place to be. Dr. Southern does a great job. It's not only about our athletic facilities. I mean, our school, our teachers, do a great job. And, we're a really diverse school, I think, with a lot of real world. It's basically like the real world in Smyrna. And you get a very diverse student body. And it's a great place to be with great teachers and great faculty, great administration. And, I'm just proud and blessed to have been a part of it for a long time.
I also heard as an announcer of games that the press box has some changes, but nobody will tell us what it is. It's all a secret. Coach Harris will not reveal anything, so we're looking forward to being up there. But it was already a great press box, so I can't imagine how it could be better. But we're looking forward to doing that. And we're going to talk about the team you're going to play in just a few minutes. But let's talk about this year's Smyrna Bulldogs. I know you lost some people to graduation, as you always do. How are you offensively, first of all? How do you feel going into this year with the offense?
Well, I feel a little bit better after last night. I mean, to be honest, our first scrimmage against Blackman, I wasn't very happy and was really concerned, to be quite honest. We weren't very efficient running the football, which is something we're going to have to hang our hat on. And just did not. We made way too many mistakes. And then against Beach, we ran the ball a little bit better against Beach, but our passing game was non-existent, to be quite honest. And I challenged our quarterbacks last night. That we needed to do a better job, and to their credit, they did that. But, we returned some offensive linemen. We've still got a ways to go up front. I think we've got to get more physical up front, move people a little bit better. But we've got some pieces there and more depth than we've had in quite some time, so that's a good thing. Running backs, I feel good about our running backs with Aiden Augustine and DJ Barksdale and Ryan Carver. Ryan's a kid that moved in from West Creek in Clarksville. But we got 3 running backs who are, 2 of them are really big running backs. Basically bowling balls, and that can give people some troubles. And, quarterback is still, to be honest with you, it's fairly open competition in my mind. I mean, Britton Judkins is a kid who transferred from Rockville, is a kid that probably right now, and who played well last night. If we had to start today, he'd be the starter. But, You got A.J. Jackson, a sophomore behind that, and you got Gianni Allen, who's a junior who transferred from Summit, also in that race. So, we're sort of still trying to figure out who's going to take the reins at quarterback. And, I do think our receiver position can be a strength for us. Tyreek McCarver, of course, returns, great playmaker, big play guy, and has done a good job and has really, sort of moved into more of a leadership role. Elias Gilliam's a kid who, I've been on Elias pretty hard for the last three and a half years, whatever it's been, but he had a really good scrimmage last night. He's a kid who's got great speed. And, we've got some other kids at that receiver position I think can do a lot with the ball in their hands.
The getting the ball to them is going to be important, and I love to hear what you said about the offensive line. I think in high school football that may be the biggest keys to success because your offensive line, maybe they might start slow in scrimmaging, but if they pick it up, they can really help an offense. Yeah,
they've got to. We return Brett Williams, our center. Was a starter for us last year, and Grayson Pitts at tackle, was a starter for us last year as well. And then Orioba, we call him Ebo, Ebenezer Orioba, left tackle played some. So we got three guys that are coming back that played some, and we got some other guys like Tyler Green and that also played some. But got a new kid, Tyson Hines. I really want to see get in the mix on the offensive line. He's a kid that transferred from Illinois. And, big kid, thick kid that should be able to help give us some more beef up there. And kids like Will McKnight and C.J. Griffin. C.J.'s a kid we got a couple years ago, and was a basketball kid, really athletic, big kid who's still learning how to play the position, but he's made great strides there. And so we feel like we got, five that hopefully we will gel soon and be able to run the football. I thought we ran the football good last night and got some movement, but we still got to become a little more physical at times.
Matt Williams is our guest here on the Coach's Corner. Matt, let's talk defense because Smyrna's kind of always prided themselves on defense. And how's things looking on the defensive side of the ball?
I think we could be that's the place where I think we can be pretty strong if we do the little things right and do the little things well. You got Jerry Martin returning at defensive tackle, who Jerry's one of the most unique kids I've ever coached. I don't know how many kids I've coached that are as physical as he is. He is just, sometimes it's jaw-dropping how physical he is. And you got DJ Barksdale. It's funny, we got DJ who is a running back but also plays defensive tackle for us. So, DJ's an extremely strong kid, very physical, and hard to block. And then, defensive ends, I feel like can be a strength. Ryan Carver, of course, is a kid that I said came from West Creek, and John Richardson's the new kid that has come in. He transferred, moved from Chicago 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I guess he's a junior now. It's sort of an interesting kid. He was probably 300 pounds plus, and when I first saw him, he didn't even play football the first year he was here. I just thought, young kid, overweight, but then he lost a bunch of weight, and the kid can do a standing backflip. That tells you anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and just, weighs probably 265, really strong, just naturally strong, can run like a deer. So he's still learning how to play the game, but he's a kid we hope comes along, and I think his potential is through the roof when he learns how to play the game. So, inside linebacker Aiden Augustine returns. Aiden, has been a big playmaker, played a lot as a sophomore in there with Arion Carter, because of an injury, but he's had a good preseason. And Brody Hines, an inside linebacker, has been really solid. I thought Brody had a really good scrimmage last night and played really well. And outside linebacker Donnell Valentine, Zion Blakemore in that competition. I thought Donnell had a really good game last night, and Zion's done some really good things. And secondary is where we lost a lot, of course. And but we've had some guys, Tyree McCarver and his little brother Zay McCarver at corner have done a good job. And then our safeties, Amari Hill and Denzel Yarbrough, sorry, I said that wrong. Are coming along. They've still got some strides to make and be a little bit better in tackling and angles, but they've done a pretty good job.
And if you can be stronger up front, that'll help them develop give them a little time to develop if you can be strong up front on the defense.
Yeah, and, we've got a little bit of depth there, and Tyson Hines and Anthony Staples, a sophomore, has done a really good job for us. He's a very coachable. Anthony Staples is just a fun kid to be around, period. He's a great kid. And then you got Connor Clark and Kenyon Dietz, backing up defensive men who have been solid. So, yeah, I think the defensive front is going to be the key, just like on offense. I think our offensive line is going to be the key and the quarterback position. So, I think we've got some talent there, and we've got some depth. Our sophomore class, our freshmen had a pretty good team last year, so our sophomore class is probably a little bit further along than what we've had the last few years.
That sounds awesome. I know you've got a big test coming up, the first game, the opener at home, and that's Riverdale. And I was talking to Will about that game, and you guys have come kind of gotten a nice friendly rivalry. It's always kind of early in the season, and it's always a test for both of you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a great program, and Will does a great job. And, we've already been breaking down their film. I mean, their defense is scary. To be honest with you, their defensive front has got some guys, just some dudes. And inside linebackers are big and physical, really good players, and they're athletic in the secondary. So we're going to have to be really creative on offense and figure out a way, number one, to run the football, but also how we can protect the quarterbacks and be efficient in the throw game. And defensively, we've got to find a way. They got a really, really good running back. I mean, he's a stud. So big offensive line. We've got to find a way to hold up against that big offensive line. And the quarterbacks, whichever one starts, both are crafty and throw the ball well, and they're scary in the Q run game. So, we've got to have a great week of preparation. And as always, Riverdale's going to bring a really, really good team to the field. And it's going to be an interesting opener, but I'm excited about it. If you're going to open up, you want to open up with good teams, and that's what we're doing.
Amen. And, Coach, I probably won't talk to you till about week 3, and that means you'll have a record to talk about, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again in a couple of weeks, and I'll see you Friday.
John, absolutely, and great to talk to you.
All right, buddy. That's Matt Williams, the head coach of the Smyrna Bulldogs. When we return, by the way, it's brought to you by First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. If you're looking for a hometown feel with your bank, turn to the First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, offering full-service banking and mortgage services. Matt Kreisky, head coach of the Blackman Blaze, up next.
We're talking now with Heather here at Carpet Spot.